on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Now at the top of the key. Free throw line. Little floater up. Little floater in. Alabama up 73-72.
Crimson Tide women's basketball is on the air.
Here come the Crimson Tide. Driving. Left side layup up. Rattles home. Driving. Left side shot up and in. Count it. She's fouled.
Crimson Tide women's basketball is brought to you by Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Cook's Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable combination for termite protection. Chick-fil-A. Download the Chick-fil-A app and place your order now at an Alabama Chick-fil-A location. And by Alabama One Credit Union, a proud supporter of Crimson Tide women's athletics. Now let's go courtside.
One final game before the Christmas holiday for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And today, it's an opportunity to extend a winning streak and close out non-conference play with a victory. Welcome, everybody. This is Roger Hoover. Glad to welcome you courtside to Coleman Coliseum as we get set for today's matchup presented by Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Crimson Tide. Alabama 10-2 on the season. The Crimson Tide a perfect 6-0 at home, and Alabama has won 8 straight games coming into today's final challenge of non-conference play against North Florida, so a chance to go into SEC play next Thursday against Georgia with a 9-game winning streak if the Crimson Tide can take care of business today against North Florida. The Ospreys check in at 3-6 overall, and so far this season the Ospreys have fallen in their last ball game to the Auburn Tigers 77-49 on Tuesday. This is a tough challenge for Alabama coming out of the A-Sun. That's the matchup presented by Golden Flake. When we come back to Tuscaloosa, we'll take a look at the starting lineup, so we'll have the tip-off. In women's basketball, it's Alabama against North Florida. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Did you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Getting ready for the Crimson Tide and the North Florida Ospreys. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by your local Alabama Chick-fil-A restaurant. Chick-fil-A app is here to help you savor every second of the game. With the app, you can score points towards rewards with each purchase. Just order ahead and score before the game even starts. Roll Tide with Chick-fil-A. Before we fully dive into the starting lineups for Alabama and UNF, why don't we first pause 10 seconds for station identification. That's 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Welcome back to Coleman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover with you courtside. Our game being produced back at our Learfield studios by Maurice Jones and Ethan Carabin, running our video streams all over the place. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We are glad to welcome you for the courtside cam here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Chick-fil-A starting lineups first for the University of North Florida, led by head coach Derek Gibbs. Starting at forward, a 5'11 freshman from Iceland, Helena Rabsdottir. She's averaging 2 points, 3 rebounds per game. Also a guard, a 5'5 sophomore from Savannah, Georgia, Kayla Ruggier. Then getting the start at guard, a 5'5 redshirt junior from Elkridge, Maryland, Lyric Swan, leading scorer on the team by averaging 16 points per game. Her twin sister, Jalen Swan, also in the starting lineup. She's a guard that stands at 5'11, a redshirt junior as well. Then getting the start at forward, a 6'3 senior from Okeana, Ohio, Emma Berorman. Berorman leading rebounder at 7 rebounds per game. Again, North Florida led by head coach Derek Gibbs. Now look at Christy Curry's surging Alabama Crimson Tide, 10-2 on the season, winners of 8 straight games. Starting for the Crimson Tide once again at guard, a 6'4 junior from Birmingham, Sarah Ashley Barker, coming off a 12-rebound performance last time out against Southeastern Louisiana on Tuesday. Point guard is a 5'6 grad student from Homewood, Hannah Barber. She leads the team with 34 assists. Also a guard, a 5'9 grad student from Manchester, Georgia, Brittany Davis. She is the leading scorer at 17 points per game and 6 rebounds per contest. The center is 6'4 grad student from Sewanee, Georgia. The NC State transfer, Jada Rice, leads the way with 34 blocks. She is 4th nationally in blocks coming into this game. Then at forward, a 6-foot junior from East Lansing, Michigan. The transfer from Illinois, Aaliyah Nye. Nye is shooting well from beyond the arc. She is 5th nationally by shooting 51%. Hannah Barber right behind her at 51% as well. So really good numbers for both Barber and Nye from beyond the arc, as this has been a high-powered offense for Christy Curry. She wants to see some defense today against North Florida. Final game of what's been a busy 4-game homestand right before the Christmas holiday. And again, next week it will be the start of SEC play against the Georgia Lady Bulldogs coming up on Thursday at 6 p.m. But Alabama squeezing in 4 games right before the Christmas holiday, including a 3- and a 5-day stretch to try and get this team ready for what it'll be like in tournament play, both in the SEC tournament and hopefully the NCAA tournament down the road. Our referees for today, Palani Spurlock-Welsh, along with Maj Forsberg and Frank Sterator. Crimson Tide on the floor, wearing the home white jerseys with crimson numerals on the front and back. Alabama written across the front in crimson. Meanwhile, the Ospreys in the road navy with North Florida written across the front in whites with silver trim for those birds of prey from Duval County. We're ready for basketball in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Jada Rice in the circle right up against Berorman, and the opening tap controlled by the Crimson Tide, and we are underway. Quickly down the floor, a pass goes to Rice and went just past her on the baseline. The ball goes out of play and will be returned to North Florida. Crimson Tide will play on the left goal to start this game, UNF on the right. We're just getting going in the first of 4 10-minute quarters in women's basketball. Inbounds pass comes in quickly over the timeline left, and a turnover quickly on Kayla Ruggier. She stepped on a play on the sideline on the left side, facing that tight defense from Sarah Ashley Barker. 10 seconds into the game, no score. Basketball with Hannah Barber. Quick handoff to Brittany Davis on the right wing, dribbles to the top of the key, then back to Barber on the right wing. Barber with a left-handed dribble to the top of the key, lasers a pass on the right wing to Sarah Ashley Barker. Barker inside the arc, spins around, back out in the right corner. Here's Davis with a 3. Off the iron, no good. The rebound tapped around and controlled by Rabsdottir, and then she steps out of play on the right sideline. So whether it's the sideline, the baseline, both sides having a little tough time keeping the ball in play in these first 32 seconds. No score between Alabama and North Florida. Left sideline, Barker inbounds the basketball right to Jada Rice. Quick handoff back to Barker. Now on the right wing, it's Davis with a 3 that's perfect. Brittany Davis picks up where she left off after a great performance joining the 1,000-point club on Tuesday. She buries an opening tray for the Crimson Tide. Basketball with North Florida after the 3-point make by Davis. Ospreys, top of the key with the Swan sisters, Lyric and Jalen. Currently, it's Jalen back to Lyric, to Ruggier now. Now to Lyric Swan on the right wing. Top of the key, Berorman. Back to Jalen Swan. A quick handoff from Berorman back to her. Left elbow extended. Feels the pressure to Berorman on the left block. Her shot is no good. And a shot clock violation had it gone in as Davis gets it back for the Crimson Tide. to Barker. Now top of the key, Nye looses up with a 3, and that's good. Aaliyah Nye with the 3-pointer for the Crimson Tide, and Alabama's got a 6-0 lead. 8:35 left to go in this opening quarter. Back-to-back 3-pointers from the Crimson Tide, and Rougier travels with the basketball right in front of the Crimson Tide bench, and that will give the ball back to the University of Alabama. 6-0 Crimson Tide. 8:32 left to go in this first quarter. Barker ready for the inbounds pass, standing right in front of Director of Basketball Operations Brian Johnson, as well as assistant coach Kelly Curry. Christy Curry talking with one of our officials today, Frank Steratore, as the ball is inbounded to Barber. Barber drifts to the right wing, bounce pass top of the key to Nye. Nye looks low, instead passes up top to Barker. Now back to Nye, top of the key, 3 on the way. In and out, no good. Swirled in and out of the rim, and the basketball picked up by Rougier on the rebound. Rougier over the timeline, pushing tempo to Swan on the right wing. Swan at the top of the key, to the right wing to Rabsdottir. Rabsdottir back to the in between the rings to Swan. She backs up nearly to midfloor. Tight defense by Hannah Barber. Around the screens at the top of the key, Swan driving in, kicks it back out to her sister Jalen, top of the key. Her 3-pointer up and good. North Florida answers with a 3-pointer and cuts Alabama's lead in half at 6-3. 7:50 left to go in the first quarter. Basketball back of the Crimson Tide with Barber on the left wing. Barber hands off to Barker. Barker at the top of the key to Nye. Double steps to the right side, down the right wing to Hannah Barber. Barber with 7:37 left to go in this first quarter. Backs up a few steps. Alabama up by a 6-3 score, working with the basketball around the screen. Barber darts inside, right baseline, feels the pressure, falls down, and the ball picked up by North Florida by Jalen Swan. Basketball with the Ospreys. Over the timeline right, Lyric Swan. Swan at the top of the key. Swan hesitates, puts up a 3-pointer that's short on the front iron. Rebound right at the free throw line by Brittany Davis. Davis quickly over the timeline, spins around in the paint, left side, floats it up off the glass, no good. The rebound tapped out of play by Aaliyah Nye, and the basketball to North Florida. 7:04 left to go in this opening quarter. It's Alabama with a 6-3 lead against UNF. Ospreys will inbound the basketball with Helena Rabsdottir, guarding the inbounds pass with hands-up defense. Jumping up and down, Brittany Davis. Inbounds pass comes in on a bounce to Jalen Swan. Swan feels the pressure from Nye. Now double team, now over the timeline. A quick pass to Rougier. Rougier inside the arc left side. Her shot deflected by Barker, goes to Brewerman. The post player goes up left block. Her shot too strong, and on the right block, coming up with the basketball is Brittany Davis. Basketball to Tide up by 3. Davis, left corner to Barber. A head fake by her, passing the left wing to Davis. Loads up a 3-pointer. Connects on a 3-pointer. Brittany Davis with 2 already for the Crimson Tide. Alabama's got a 9-3 lead. 6.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. More backcourt pressure. Nye tipped a pass for a moment, but it still goes to Rougier from Jalen Swan. Now a pass to Lyric Swan on the right wing. Swan guarded by Sarah Ashley Barker. Darts inside, feels the pressure right side lane, the ball loose on the floor. Barber comes up with it, and basketball tied up. Possession arrow will favor UNF, so the Ospreys will keep the ball. Sarah Taub checking in for the Ospreys. Freshman out of Marietta, Georgia, a guard that stands at 5'9", averaging 3 points, 3 rebounds per game. She takes the spot of Kayla Rougier. Right baseline. Lyric Swan inbounds on the right wing to Rabsdottir. Rabsdottir started to drive in, lost control of the ball, right block. Sarah Ashley Barker with the steal, gets it to Rice, and then Rice quickly to Barber over the timeline. 6-point Alabama lead. Barber lost the handle on the basketball, tipped by Swan, and finally back to UNF with a little help as well from Rabsdottir. Now over the timeline is Taub. Taub, right elbow, back to the right wing, and a whistle blown, and a foul called, an offensive foul called against North Florida. Against Emma Brewerman. That will give the basketball back to Alabama. That is the first team foul on the Ospreys. None so far in the Crimson Tide. 5:52 left to go in this first quarter. It's Alabama with a 9-3 lead. All the scoring in this game courtesy of 3-pointers. 3 for Alabama, 1 for UNF. Top of the key, Brittany Davis. She's knocked down 2. Leonias had the other 3. She passes on the left wing to Barber. Now to Barker in the left corner. Barker driving on the left baseline to the basket, goes up with the ball, he gets loose and taken away by Rabsdottir. A lot of contact, no foul. Rabsdottir to the free throw line, feels the pressure, top of the key to Lyric Swan. She picked up her feet and traveled to the basketball. A turnover on Swan, and the basketball to the Crimson Tide. In terms of turnovers, 5 so far on UNF, 4 on the Crimson Tide. Alabama goes to its bench. The first sub will be Ryan Cobbins to take over for Jada Rice. Cobbins, the 6-foot senior, transferred to Alabama from North Dakota State. So far this season, Cobbins averaging 1.2 rebounds per game, averaging 9 minutes per contest for Alabama. Cobbins, top of the key. Back to Barker. 9-3 Crimson Tide lead to work with 5:15 to go in this opening quarter. Barber at the top of the key. Barber looking for a screen from Cobbins, goes around that to the Crimson paint, kicks it out. In the right corner, Nye. A three is good. Aaliyah Nye cannot miss. Alabama's got a 12-3 lead. 4 3-pointers so far for Alabama. 2 by Nye, 2 by Davis to build an early advantage. Basketball of the Ospreys after Alabama's been on a 6-0 run. Starting to drive in was Taub. Now to Borman, top of the key. Lyric Swan loads up a three-pointer. That's good from the right wing. And more three-pointers in this game. 12-6 the score. That's been all the scoring so far. 4 makes for Alabama, 2 for UNF. Barber with the basketball in the right front court. 4.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Next dead ball will be immediate timeout. Pass top of the key to Barker. Barker to Nye, right wing. Another three. That one's in and out, no good, and the rebound pulled in by Jalen Swan. She gets the ball to Lyric Swan over the timeline left. Swan to Swan, top of the key. Jalen with the three. That's off the back iron, no good. And we'll go to the Alabama bench, and that will take us to our first timeout on the floor. 4:09 left to go in this opening quarter. It's a good start for the Crimson Tide. Alabama with a 12-6 lead over UNF. We'll be back with more in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Tide fans, flu season is just around the corner, and the Alabama Department of Public Health wants to remind Tide fans that this year it's more important than ever to get your flu shot. Research shows that it's possible to have the flu and COVID-19 at the same time. This flu season, protect yourself and the people around you from flu and help reduce the strain on your local healthcare system, who is still responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/flu.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Alabama One is a proud supporter of the University of Alabama Athletics. At Alabama One, we understand you have big life goals. Whether you're paying off student debt, buying a home, or retiring, your big life goals require healthy finances. As a full-service credit union, Alabama One offers our members the resources you need to reach your goals, including better rates than most banks and a full suite of products, including credit cards and loans for mortgages, cars, businesses, and land. Visit us in person or online, alabama1.org. Alabama One is an equal housing lender.
4:09 left to go in the first quarter. Alabama with a 12-6 lead against UNF. Fans, you can stay up to date with the latest on the Crimson Tide by tuning into Tide TV This Week. Check your local listings for TV times in your area. And remember, Tide TV This Week is also on demand at RolledTide.com and the Alabama Athletics YouTube channel. Tide TV This Week, hosted by Kinsey Hughes. Well, the Crimson Tide hitting a lot of three-pointers so far in this basketball game. Alabama 4 of 8 from the floor, but 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. 2 makes each by Brittany Davis and Aaliyah Nye, so both of them with 6 points off to very good starts. And Aaliyah Nye had an Alabama high 21 points her last time out, knocked down 7 three-pointers in that ball game. So Nye picking up right where she left off Tuesday against UNF. Brittany Davis with a couple as well. And then we've seen 1 three-pointer by Lyric Swan and Jalen Swan. So twin sisters, they are not identical twins. Lyric stands at 5'5". Jalen stands at 5'11". They played together all throughout their lives except for their freshman year of college. Lyric went to UMBC, the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Meanwhile, Jalen went to Muhlenberg College, and then they both transferred to CCBC Essex, playing JUCO basketball, where they had great success, and now transfer down to the University of North Florida as they continue playing together. Basketball, the Crimson Tide, Loyal McQueen off the bench for the first time today, gives to Megan Abrams as Alabama has a new look on the floor. Abrams driving in, left side layup, rattles off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound picked up by Cobbins right side. Back to Weathers on the right wing. Weathers top of the key to McQueen. Loyal kicks it out in the left corner. A head fake by Megan Abrams. Now she dribbles to the left wing, now darts inside. Abrams has a pass to Cobbins. She's got it, let the traffic clear. Right side layup, rattles home. Alabama 14 and UNF 6, the first 2 of the ball game made by either team. team. Mingo Young swatting at the basketball. So is Weathers as UNF trying to beat Alabama's pressure. They finally will with 1 second to spare on a pass over the timeline right to Todd. Todd feels the pressure from Abrams. Back to the right front court to Lyric Swan. 3:20 left to go in this first quarter. Alabama a 14-6 lead. Ospreys work with the basketball. Pass on the left wing to Jalen Swan. A bounce pass to Berorman, left block. Left side layup is good. Both teams scoring in the paint for the first time today after that media timeout. 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Basketball with Alabama up by 6. Loyal McQueen on the right wing. Now to the right corner, passing on the right wing, Cobbins. She puts up a 3, off the back iron, no good, and the rebound by Cobbins, top of the key. Kicks it out, left corner, Carly Weathers with a 3, yes! Carly Weathers knocks down the tray. It's Alabama 17, UNF 8. 2:40 left to go in this first quarter. Basketball back to UNF. Over the timeline to the right wing to Jalen Swan. She'll hand off to Lyric Swan at mid-floor, standing over the script A in crimson. Painted on the state outline in mid-floor at Coleman Coliseum. Top of the key. Lyric Swan spins around left elbow. Now passes top of the key to Wesselak. She loads up a 3, leaves it short on the front iron, and the rebound caroms right to Megan Abrams on the left elbow. Abrams over the middle of the timeline. Alabama with the ball up 17-8. Abrams, top of the key to Mingo Young in the left wing. Mingo Young dribbling to the top of the key, around the screen, right elbow jumper, kicks off the iron, no good, and the rebound pulled in by Taub. Basketball with Taub over the middle of the timeline, swings it out on the right wing to Swan. Now back from Swan to Swan, Jalen to Lyric at mid-floor. 17-8, Alabama with the lead. Lyric Swan to the right wing, puts up a 3 and connects. Lefty with a solid shooting touch once again. That is the second three-pointer by Lyric Swan in this game, and it's 17-11. A minute 40 left to go in the first quarter. Left wing Weathers loads up another 3, and she connects. UNF left her completely alone. Carly Weathers made the Ospreys pay. It is 20-11, Crimson Tide. Basketball back with UNF. Todd. Baseball pass to Wesselak in the right corner. Her pass is stolen by Mingo Young, then throws it out of play off of Lyric Swan's right leg, and the basketball belongs to Alabama. Crimson Tide with active defense from Jemiah Mingo Young. A 9-point Alabama lead, 20-11, with a minute 23 remaining in this first quarter. Inbounds pass into Loyal McQueen. Over the timeline left, passing at the top of the key to Cobbins. Cobbins left alone. Hands off to Abrams. Abrams, a dribble to the left, dribble to the right, now backs up a few steps. Bounce pass to Cobbins. Cobbins, top of the key with her back to the basket. Now hands off top of the key to Mingo Young. Mingo Young to McQueen at the top of the key. Strides down the left side lane, throws it up with the left hand. That kicks off the iron, no good. Fight for the loose ball, picked up by UNF in transition with Taub over the timeline left. Left side lane, right to the basket, puts it up. No good on the shot. Rebound out of play by Wesselak. No, it'll be touched last by the Crimson Tide. And basketball stays with UNF. Janet Cunningham coming off the bench for the Crimson Tide. The 6'4 junior from Brentwood, New York, taking the spot of Ryan Cobbins. Picked up 2 points in her time on the floor. 48 seconds left to go in this first quarter. The inbounds pass to Rugier, then quickly back to Lyric Swan, left corner. Her three-pointer up. No good off the left side of the rim, then over the top of the backboard, and the basketball back to the Crimson Tide. 44 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Alabama 20, UNF 11. Inbounds pass slowly rolled into Loyal McQueen as she picks it up, takes the ball over the timeline left. McQueen to left baseline, top of the key to Abrams, now to Weathers. In the corner on the right side to Jemiah Mingo Young. Mingo Young back to the top of the key to Weathers. Weathers driving down the right side lane, loses her footing, puts it up, no good on the shot, but contact and a foul called against North Florida, and Carly Weathers to the free throw line. Wesselak called for the foul, previously played at South Carolina, won a national championship with the Gamecocks as a role player off the bench last season. Carly Weathers to the free throw line for the Crimson Tide, a 71% free throw shooter on the year, just 5 of 7 for the reigning Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year. Off the bench, it'll be Maddie Millar coming in for the Ospreys, replacing Sarah Todd. 30 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Alabama up by a 20-11 score. This will be Weathers at the free throw line. Already 6 points today. Now 7. 21-11 Crimson Tide. New largest lead of 10 points in this game for Alabama. Weathers' second one. Rattles home again. Alabama doubling up UNF in this first quarter, 22-11, 27 seconds left. Full court pressure after the make by the Crimson Tide on defense. Rugier just gets over the timeline before Mingo Young strips of the basketball, and then diving for the ball, Rugier on the left sideline went out of play. So the basketball will go to the Crimson Tide. Quickly back into the game will be Sarah Taub for UNF, quickly replacing Maddie Millar. Basketball with the Crimson Tide. Shot clock turned off with 21 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Alabama 22, UNF 11. Inbounds pass to Loyal McQueen. Dribbles over the middle of the timeline and will take her time with 15 seconds left on the clock and counting. McQueen at the Georgia border on the state outline at mid-floor. Now passing on the right wing to Abrams. Abrams quickly to Weathers. Right corner three. Short, and the rebound collected by UNF. Rabsdottir over the timeline to Weselek. Top of the key, launches a three. That will not go, and that will close out the first 10 minutes of play. Solid work for the Crimson Tide from beyond the arc and on defense, paving the way to an 11-point lead at the end of the first 10 minutes. As we get ready for the second quarter, our score in Tuscaloosa, Alabama 22, UNF 11. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Getting ready for the start of the second quarter, it's Alabama doubling up North Florida, 22-11. Fans, I invite you to watch Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, Thursday afternoons at 2 p.m. on all CTSN social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Join us for the latest on Alabama athletics. That show on a little bit of a break for the holidays, but will return on January 5th when the Crimson Tide will be hosting Missouri later that night at Coleman Coliseum. After this game, nothing but SEC basketball in front of the Crimson Tide starting next week with Georgia. So again, Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR and a little bit of a break for the holidays, but we will return coming up in the new year on January 5th, 2023. Crimson Tide looking good right before the Christmas holiday. This can always be a tricky game as teams are kind of thinking about what's next or maybe some travel plans. But so far, Alabama's taking care of business early in the game. It's usually early in games where teams have a tough time kind of locking in, but wasn't the case for the Crimson Tide, going 6 of 11 from beyond the arc. Brittany Davis, Aaliyah Nye, and Carly Weathers all knocking down 2 3-pointers. So all of them with 6 points. Carly Weathers added 2 more at the free throw line. So Weathers was your top scorer in the first quarter with 8 points for Alabama. Basketball, Loyal McQueen driving in left side, layup up, layup in. Loyal McQueen makes it 24-11, Crimson Tide. Good start to the second quarter. Now hands up defense by McQueen in the backcourt guarding Rabsdottir, and the pass is tipped loose and back to the Crimson Tide. Touched last by Lisa Weselek, and the basketball with the Crimson Tide. It'll be Alabama with Jemiah Mingo Young ready for the inbounds pass. Right now, all reserves on the floor for the Crimson Tide. Loyal McQueen at the top of the key, zigzags in the paint, kicks it out to Mingo Young in the right wing. Mingo Young kicks it back out to Weathers, left elbow, left block to Cunningham, spin around hook shot is good with the right hand. 26-11, Alabama. Crimson Tide scoring not only from outside the arc, but inside the paint. Nearly a steal, as Alabama's had swarming defense on the perimeter so far, especially with Weathers and McQueen just a moment ago against Maddie Millar. Driving in Lyric Swan right side for a moment, slams on the brakes, back to the top of the key. Rugier, 10 on the shot clock. Rugier feeling the pressure from Abrams, 5 on the shot clock. Rugier, top of the key to Weselek. Weselek inside the arc, contested jumper is off the mark, and the rebound in the crimson paint by Jemiah Mingo Young. Mingo Young dashes down the left side lane, floats it up, and that is no good on the shot, but she draws the foul, and free throws coming up at the line for Jemiah Mingo Young. Kayla Rugier called for the foul. That'll be her first and the team's first. Didn't see too many fouls in the first quarter on either team. Alabama will make a line change essentially, as everybody except for Mingo Young will change for the Crimson Tide. Lee and I will be coming in to replace Mingo Young after these free throws coming up. So all the starters back at the floor, including Barber, Davis, Barker, Rice, and in a moment, Nye for Mingo Young. First free throw for Jemiah is good. Jemiah, an excellent free throw shooter, 92% on the year, just 2 misses all year. 27-11 Alabama, 8:50 to go in the second quarter. That one's up, that one's in. 28-11. Crimson Tide off to a 6-0 start in this second quarter. That is just 1 minute, 10 seconds old. Full court pressure after the make as the inbounds pass comes into Rugier. Rugier guarded by Barker and Davis. Works it back to Rabsdottir. Rabsdottir over the timeline right. Rabsdottir using her speed, lost control of the ball right side lane, and it's stolen by the Crimson Tide. Barber to Barker. Barker right side lane to the rim. Throws it up, off the window, bangs it in. Alabama 30, UNF 11, Sarah Ashley Barker. Basketball to the Ospreys. Facing that full court pressure after a make that is just so tough from Alabama. Pass on a bounce to Millar in the left corner, saves the possession, dribbling the left wing, now to the top of the key, loose on the floor, tipped by Barber, taken by Davis. Davis over the timeline, leading the fast break, into the crimson paint, right side layup, rattles home. Alabama 32, UNF 11, timeout by the Ospreys as Alabama started the second quarter on a 10-0 run. 8:10 left to go before halftime. There's timeout on the floor with once again the score, Alabama 32, UNF 11. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Chris Jakimick, I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
8:10 remaining before halftime. It is Alabama 32 and North Florida 11. We're still a long way from halftime, but coming up, we will have the Toyota halftime report with first half stats and scores from around the country, including the SEC. It'll be a pretty light scoreboard coming up because Alabama is the only team in action today in the SEC. So Alabama playing deeper towards the Christmas holiday and towards the start of conference play than any other team in the league. Crimson Tide on a 10-0 run to start this second quarter, and leading the way was just a moment ago Brittany Davis after the steal, the score for Alabama. She's got 8 points so far. North Florida's just having a tough time taking care of the ball. The Ospreys with 11 points in this game, but 10 turnovers so far in this contest. Alabama has had very active hands-on defense, 5 steals, 3 of those by Brittany Davis. So that's a very good start to the game for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Again, 8:10 left to go in the second quarter. Alabama 32, North Florida 11, as Alabama hopes to go into conference play with 9 straight victories. So a long way to go in this one. Inbounds pass quickly into Lyric Swan. Swan over the timeline left. Swan feels the pressure, kicks it back out to Rugier, and then back to Lyric Swan at the Mississippi border on the state outline of mid-floor, guarded by Barker. Pass to the top of the key, tipped by Davis, stolen, her 4th steal today. Davis driving left side, puts it up, puts it in. It's too easy for Brittany Davis. Alabama 34, UNF 11. Inbounds pass, thrown in quickly to Rugier over the timeline, trying to beat the press, driving into the paint. Denied Jada Rice. The ball right back to Rugier. Now back to the top of the key with Swan. Swan driving in left side, nearly traveled, puts up a shot, and that is good. 34-13, as Lyric Swan able to get the Ospreys on the board for the first time in the second quarter. Barber to the free throw line, kicks it out to Barker. Barker on the right wing, scans her options, floats it free throw line to Rice. Rice back to the basket. A dribble to the right, a quick handoff to Davis. Davis driving in, spinning around left side of the lane, kicks it out to Barber. A head fake by her left corner. She drives to the left side of the lane. Bounce pass to Nye. 5 in the shot clock to Barber, top of the key. Barber to Rice. Right side of the lane, tries to go up for a shot. No good on the shot, but a foul is called. Barorman had contact, and that will send Rice to the free throw line. Second foul on Barorman. And team foul number 2 on the Ospreys. Lisa Weselek back in to replace Barorman. That'll send Jada Rice to the free throw line, a 39% free throw shooter. 9 of 23 on the year. This is part of her game that Coach Curry has been encouraging her to work on. First free throw is short because Rice is going to go to the free throw line a lot coming up in SEC play, and that'll be part of the game plan for everybody that Alabama will play starting Thursday with Georgia. This one's up. In and out, no good. Barker taps the rebound right to Nye at the free throw line. Top of the key to Barber. Driving down the right side lane, spins around, and she traveled in the midst of that spin. And the basketball to UNF. 6:57 left to go in the second quarter. Alabama up 34-13. Crimson Tide outscoring the Ospreys 12-2 in the second quarter. Full court pressure for Alabama as Rugier looks to inbound the ball against the hands-up defense by Barker. Quickly into Jalen Swan. She's double-teamed. Back to Rugier. Rugier facing Barker right behind, fell to her feet. Passes over the timeline to Taub. Right side lane, spins around. Now back to Rugier. Rugier to the top of the key. That's stolen away by Aaliyah Nye. Barker was very slow to get up, but she is still moving on the floor. Little gingerly. Davis, left corner, steps into a 3. That's off the iron, no good. And the rebound, Karam's left baseline to Swan. Barker getting back on defense. Hopefully everything's going to be all right for Sarah Ashley after a good start to this game once again for the transfer from Georgia. Her old teammates coming to town next week in this building. Basketball top of the key with UNF with Lyric Swan. Swatted away, out of play by Brittany Davis. Megan Abrams will come in to replace Sarah Ashley Barker, may get some treatment from Alicia Grigsby, athletic trainer for the Crimson Tide, as well as Dr. Earl Ray Stewart. Inbounds pass coming up from Taub on a bounce into Lyric Swan to Weselek, top of the key. Weselek quickly back to Jalen Swan, top of the key. 5 in the shot clock. Lyric Swan on the right wing, starting to drive in, swings it back top of the key. Weselek now top of the key. Taub, and does not get a shot off. Started to drive in, had no awareness of the clock. That's why Derek Gibbs, head coach in North Florida, has his arms outstretched in front of the UNF bench, making sure that everybody's on the same page. Barker will head back to the locker room for just a moment, so hopefully everything will be all right for Sarah Ashley. Top of the key, Davis with the basketball, back to Megan Abrams. Abrams feeling the pressure at the top of the key. Alabama ball up 34-13. Abrams drives in, left side layup good. The lefty's too strong for Alabama. Megan Abrams makes it 36-13, Crimson Tide. Basketball back to the Ospreys. Jalen Swan to the top of the key to Taub, in between the rings to Lyric Swan. Swatting at the basketball is Hannah Barber. To Jalen Swan, top of the key, right side. A foul is going to be called against Alabama, disrupting some of the movement for UNF. I'll go on Hannah Barber, her first, and the team's first in this second quarter. Weselek goes out. Checking back in will be Selma Eklund, the transfer from UNCW. Eklund's first action of the game, native of Sweden, stands at 6 feet tall, a redshirt freshman. Top of the key with the basketball is Rugier. To the right wing, on top of the key. Quickly from Eklund back to Ruggier. Ruggier with 10 on the shot clock. Driving down the right side lane. Has her shot blocked with the left hand of Jada Rice. One of the best in the nation, the best in the SEC so far this season in blocks. Jada Rice using her left time that time to knock the ball out of play. 5:17 left to go in the second quarter. Alabama with a 36-13 lead. Ospreys inbound the ball to Jalen Swan on the right wing. Back to Ruggier in the right corner, dribbling to the right wing. Now on the top of the key with Rabsdottir. 2 on the shot clock. Rabsdottir heaves it up, and that's no good. Back-to-back shot clock violations on the Ospreys. Credit Alabama's defense creating that disruption. Basketball with Alabama, with McQueen over the timeline. Approaching the midway point of the second quarter. Davis back to McQueen in between the rings. McQueen veers to the left wing. McQueen passing to the top of the key to Weathers. Now to Abrams on the right wing. Abrams to Weathers, top of the key. Here comes a three. Off the iron, no good. Fight for the rebound. Davis still fighting for it left baseline, but the ball goes over the first A in Alabama. Written behind the baseline, and that will go back to UNF. 4:48 left to go in the second quarter. Alabama up 36-13 on UNF. Full court pressure for the Crimson Tide. Dobb inbounds to Ruggier. Ruggier to Eklund. Eklund feeling the pressure. Lost control of her dribble. Davis diving for the ball along with Weathers, and it's tied up. Possession arrow favors North Florida, so the basketball will stay with the Ospreys, but just getting the ball up the floor has been a struggle. Very similar to Alabama's game against the preseason SoCon favorite Mercer Bears, and what was one of the more dominant efforts of the year when Alabama won 88-52. But the defense has been strong all season long for Christy Curry's team. Basketball with UNF with Ruggier left front court. To the top of the key to Jalen Swan. Swan to Ruggier on the left wing. Ruggier feeling the hands up pressure from Abrams. The ball nearly poked away by Davis. 7 on the shot clock. Top of the key. Driving into basketball, Rabsdottir. Can't get it past Jada Rice. So far, nobody this season can get it past Jada Rice. She swats another one out of play. Another block by Jada in this ball game, and taking a look at the blocks, that's now 3 in the first half for Jada Rice. Came into this game 4th nationally with 34 blocks. Now she's up to 37. Best in the SEC, one of the best in the nation. Inbounds pass, 3 on the shot clock. Lyric Swan quickly into Taub. Right elbow jumper is good, and finally the Ospreys can beat the buzzer. That makes it 36-15. Alabama leads, and the Crimson Tide work with the ball, up by 21. 4:07 left to go before halftime. The Ospreys called a timeout early in this second quarter. Davis' free throw line jumper won't go. Rebound, Karams to the right, saved by Davis. Weathers to the left wing, McQueen. McQueen dribble to the right, now loads up a 3. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound snatched out of the air by Weathers. Top of the key to Abrams. Abrams to McQueen, left baseline. Dancing to the basket, swings it out to Weathers in the right corner. Weathers driving in, 10 on the shot clock. Abrams, left wing 3 on the way. Off the iron to the right, and the rebound tapped out of play by Rice over the left baseline and to the cheerleaders, and that will give the ball to UNF. Alabama outscoring UNF 14-4 in this second quarter, but we've seen the Crimson Tide go on a 2-minute, 9-second scoring drought. Basketball with the Ospreys trying to beat the press of Alabama. Back and forth it goes, and a turnover. A pass from sister-to-sister twin Jalen DeLyric went out of play, and to Derek Gibbs, the head coach, beyond the right sideline. Ball to the Crimson Tide, 3:31 left to go in the second quarter. 15 turnovers forced by Alabama. Alabama has scored 16 points off of those 15 turnovers. By the way, Barker's returned to the Alabama bench. It's McQueen throwing up a shot. That's no good from the left side. Rebound picked up by Eklund on her back, and a jump ball called after Weathers tied up the ball, and possession arrow this time favors the University of Alabama. 3:20 left to go in the second quarter. Ryan Cobbins comes in for Alabama, replacing Jada Rice, who's picked up 3 blocks in this second quarter. McQueen left baseline to inbound the ball on the L in Alabama. Painted in white on a crimson background. Inbounds pass, Cobbins, right block, she's got it. Right side layup, good. Baseline out of bounds play, run to perfection by the Crimson Tide. Basketball back to UNF. Taub over the timeline, top of the key to Eklund. Eklund, top of the key from Swan to Swan. Jalen to Lyric. Lyric right front court, passes to Eklund, top of the key. Eklund, a handoff to Lyric, top of the key. Lyric Swan. Around the screen, bounce past Eklund, SEC logo, back out to the left side, Taub. Here comes a long 3, in and out, no good. Eklund had the rebound for a moment, but threw her hands right to the 2 hands of Brittany Davis. Basketball to the Crimson Tide. Davis, top of the key. Davis into the Crimson paint, feels the pressure, kicks it back out to McQueen. McQueen. Now top of the key, Weathers. Right corner, Abrams driving on the right baseline. Kicks it back out to McQueen. Left alone, Brittany Davis. Left corner. Her three is good. Brittany Davis with 13 first half points. 2.5 minutes to go before the break. It's Alabama 41, UNF 15. Basketball with the Ospreys. Jalen Swan, top of the key, hoist up a three that's off the mark, an air ball that will give the ball back to Alabama. 2:20 left to go in this second quarter. It is a dominant effort again by the Crimson Tide in non-conference play. Alabama can continue this, will go into conference play on a 9-game winning streak. Only losses to two projected NCAA tournament teams at the moment, South Florida and Utah. But since then, 8 straight victories and a chance to make this number 9. Barker back in the game after being shaken up earlier. Kicks it out to Mingo Young in the right corner. Mingo Young to McQueen in the right front court. To Barker, top of the key. Sarah Ashley to Weathers at the top of the key. Then to McQueen, couple steps to the right side. McQueen, top of the key to Mingo Young. Floats it to Barker. Barker to Weathers, left corner, driving in. Weathers to Barker at the free throw line at the SEC logo. Her pass is deflected, tipped out of play. Touched last by UNF. Well, a shot clock violation as well. Looked like the ball was touched last by UNF. But indeed, the ball to the Ospreys. Some full court pressure still for Alabama, trying to build on what is a 26-point lead, largest of the game for Alabama, 41-15. UNF trying to inbound the basketball with Rugier to Weselek. Weselek's pass is tipped by Barker right to Mingo Young. On the right wing, Mingo top of the key to Cobbins. Back to Mingo Young, top of the key to McQueen. Left corner, left alone. Her three, too strong, and the rebound by Tom on the right side of the lane. Tom leads a fast break. Ospreys flying down the floor. A pass is stolen by Barker right behind the back pass to McQueen. Here comes Alabama. McQueen to the Crimson paint. Lets everyone catch up. Free throw line to Weathers. Left corner, left alone. A three off the back iron, no good. Fight for the rebound. Mingo Young has it. If she didn't, Barker would have had it. Mingo Young to McQueen. McQueen into the paint. Gets tangled up with the defender, and a foul is called. Mingo Young back to her feet. Alabama is just too aggressive defensively for a lot of these teams to keep up with, especially when Mingo Young and Barker are on the floor at the same time. Teams have a very tough time moving with the basketball or getting it away from these Crimson Tide defenders. Ryan Cobbins goes to the bench. Alabama with Jana Cunningham back in. 1:13 to go in this dominant second quarter. Inbounds pass from McQueen to Weathers, top of the key. Weathers swings it back to the left side. Mingo Young with a three. That's off to the right on the backboard, and the rebound picked up by Lyric Swan. Swan over the timeline left, picked up on defense by Weathers. Pokes the ball loose, right to Jana Cunningham. Then the ball tied up. Possession arrow this time will favor UNF, but again, the Ospreys have such a tough time moving the ball the length of the floor thanks to Alabama's swarming, stifling defense. 57 seconds left to go before halftime. Alabama 41, UNF 15. Ospreys will inbound the basketball with Sarah Taub. Right into the top of the key to Lyric Swan. Swan picked up on defense. Mingo Young nearly with a steal. The ball ricochets to Weselek. Weselek out to top on the left wing. Left corner, Rugier. Rugier facing Barker with hands-up defense. Dribbles to the left wing with the right hand. Switches back to the left hand, dribbling at the top of the key. Rugier feels the pressure to Weselek right corner. Her three is short, and the rebound Weathers on the left baseline. Basketball to Alabama. 32 seconds left. There is a 5-second difference in between the game clock and the shot clock, as the shot clock is down to 20. Dribbling at the Georgia border by Loyal McQueen, the transfer from Georgia Tech. Pass out to Weathers on the right wing, to McQueen top of the key. Barker on the left wing. Barker around the screen. Finds Weathers in the right corner. A long pass. Weathers inside the arc, right wing. Bounce pass to Barker. To Cunningham, right block. Her layup too strong. Rebound picked up Lyric Swan. 5 seconds to work with. Swan. Left timeline, tried for a pass to Tom, and then that pass intercepted, and the first half is complete. A dominant first half for Alabama against UNF as the Crimson Tide carry a 41-15 lead over the Ospreys into the locker room. Alabama outscored UNF 22-11 in the first quarter, then 19-4 in the second quarter to build his 26-point advantage of the break against Alabama 41, UNF 15. Coming up next, we will have the Toyota halftime report as you listen to the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfields.
Game day is full of ifs. Like if Alabama can take home another Iron Bowl victory. Who knows? But if you want the most convenient way to pay in T-Town, get the University of Alabama Regents Visa debit card. Tap to pay contactless card technology and Lock-It card controls give you what you need on game day or any day. To order your card, visit Regents.com/GoBama. Regents, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
Hey Crimson Tide fans, as our state moves to the next chapter, the Alabama Department of Public Health is shifting strategies from emergency response to one that minimizes daily disruption to our lives. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are widely available to anyone 6 months of age and older should you decide that you need one. Together, we can help to protect each other moving forward. For more information on COVID vaccines and virus prevention, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19.
Halftime at Coleman. It's the score of Alabama 41 and UNF 15. Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Report. Halftime stats delivered by Assurance Financial in less time than halftime. You could apply for a mortgage at AssuranceMortgage.com. Crimson Tide with a 41-15 advantage. Alabama shooting 42% from the floor in this game, 15 of 35, 7 of 19 from beyond the arc. Set the school record with 17 made three-pointers in the ball game on Sunday. A dominant effort for the Crimson Tide in that win against Norfolk State. Picked it up the last game as well, and now that's continued into today. Alabama also 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Rebounds, Alabama with 19 rebounds compared to 18 of UNF. 10 assists compared to 7 turnovers, 11 steals, 4 blocks, 3 of them by Jada Rice in this game. For North Florida, the Ospreys shooting only 27% from the floor, 3 of 11 from three-point land, and then no trips to the free throw line for UNF. 4 assists, but 19 turnovers hurting UNF. Alabama has really done a nice job scoring off of those turnovers so far in this game, as the Crimson Tide, again, forcing 19 turnovers. Alabama scored 18 times, 18 points off of those turnovers. Top scorer for Alabama, Brittany Davis, no surprise, leading the way with 13 points, 5 rebounds. She also has 4 steals in this game. Who knows? We could see a triple-double from her down the road thanks to steals, helping get the triple as part of what's a normal double-double for Brittany Davis. Other scorers include Carly Weathers with 8 points, 6 points from Aaliyah Nye, and then 4 points from Ryan Cobbins, 2 points each from Sarah Ashley Barker, along with Loyal McQueen, Megan Abrams, Gianna Cunningham, and Jemiah Mingo Young. 8 points so far, leading the way for Lyric Swan. Alabama with the advantage, 41-15 at the break against North Florida. It is Thursday, and coming up, today's December 22nd. Next week, it will be December 29th, and we will have the Sugar Bowl preview radio show coming your way starting at 6 p.m. Central. It'll go from 6 to 7:30 at the Mardi Gras Ballroom at the Marriott in downtown New Orleans. We'll be joined by Coach Saban as well as John Parker Wilson. Chris Stewart will be the host for the broadcast. And if you are in New Orleans, we certainly want to invite you to come to the Mardi Gras Ballroom at the Marriott to attend. It is free for fans to attend. We want to see a huge crowd there support Coach Saban, the Crimson Tide players gearing up for the Sugar Bowl on December 31st against Kansas State, the reigning Big 12 champions. So certainly hope you join us for the Sugar Bowl preview radio show coming up a week from today, 6 to 7:30, the Mardi Gras Ballroom at the Marriott. Full radio coverage as well on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Once again, your score at halftime, Alabama 41, North Florida 15. We'll be back with more of the Toyota Halftime Report next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
It's time for today's STEM tip. Okay, you know recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Crimson Tide with the advantage 41-15 over North Florida at halftime. Time for a scoreboard update presented by Alabama Power. The latest scores from the SEC presented by Alabama Power. Proud to support the Crimson Tide. This is the only game in action on this Thursday. So we'll take a look back at last night's scoreboard. It was #1 South Carolina staying unbeaten on the season, getting a 102-39 win against Coastal Carolina. How about South Florida? South Florida picked up a 66-65 win over Arkansas in the San Diego Invitational. That helps Alabama because one of Alabama's 2 losses on the year was to South Florida. Also, the Florida Gators fell yesterday in the Jumpman Invitational in Charlotte, 95-79 to the Oklahoma Sooners. It was Kentucky getting a win, 95-86 over Ohio. Ole Miss won at Temple, 75-55 in Philadelphia. It was Mississippi State in the Suncoast Challenge in Tampa, picking up an 87-58 win against New Mexico. Vanderbilt Commodores at Memorial Gym won by 30 over Alabama A&M 76-46. It was Purdue going to Texas A&M and winning 59-53. Jody Taylor's team, former Alabama alum Jody Mitchell-Taylor, her team off to a 5-5 start so far in her first year in Bryan College Station. Then the next opponent for the Crimson Tide, the Georgia Lady Bulldogs, rounded up play at the West Palm Beach Invitational by topping San Diego State 63-44. So Georgia 11-3. Alabama trying to improve to 11-2, gearing up for next week's showdown on Thursday to begin SEC play. Once again, our score at Coleman Coliseum, Alabama 41 and North Florida 15 at the break. Back with more of the Toyota Halftime Report next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crisp, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake. Tide fans, flu season is just around the corner, and the Alabama Department of Public Health wants to remind Tide fans that this year it's more important than ever to get your flu shot. Research shows that it's possible to have the flu and COVID-19 at the same time. This flu season, protect yourself and the people around you from flu and help reduce the strain on your local healthcare system who is still responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/flu.
In SEC sports, the ifs come at you every minute. What if your QB had released the ball a second earlier? What if the head coach hadn't used his last timeout? What if your team goes all the way this season? If you love the tradition, if you live for the rivalry, if you can't wait each week for the absolute edge of your seat action, Regions is right there with you as the official bank of the SEC.
Regions can't help you with the F's in sports. Regions helps you embrace the F in life.
Member FDIC.
Alabama leading 41-15 over UNF at the break. What to expect in the second half, presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. With zero sugar and refreshingly delicious is Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Find out for yourself. Expect Alabama to work the ball more inside coming up. We've seen the great shots from beyond the arc, and who knows, could see many more three-pointers coming up for the Crimson Tide in the second half. But 41 points, 16 in the paint. So you would like to see the Crimson Tide continue being dominant in the paint, whether that's Jada Rice, Janet Cunningham off the bench, maybe even some of Alabama's guards who are hitting threes. Try to work the ball inside a little more. That'll be one of the challenges coming up in this second half for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Teams starting to return to the floor, so that does it for the Toyota Halftime Report. Visit your local Toyota dealers or go to Toyota.com now and take advantage of the amazing deals on our full line of vehicles. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places. Next up is the third quarter of action with Alabama leading North Florida 41-15. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Ready for our little forest adventure?
Yes! So much waiting for me. Yeah, I wanna go outside. I wanna be.
We're here.
Whoa, that was fast.
There's a forest closer than you think. Find a park or forest near you and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by USDA Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Did you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Crimson Tide Ospreys ready to start the second half. Before we start the third quarter, though, with Alabama up 41-15, we must pause 10 seconds for station identification, 10 seconds for a station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We're joined by Maurice Jones, our producer, back at our Learfield studios. And then we have the Carabins on either side of me. We have Ethan Carabin, of course, our video producer, making sure the Courtside cam is up and running on our social media outlets. And then the vice president and the general manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Jim Carabin, alongside as well with statistical support. We are ready to start this third quarter. Alabama in the home white jerseys, UNF in the road navy. Final non-conference game of the year for Crimson Tide women's basketball. Trying to go into SEC play on what would be a 9-game winning streak if Alabama puts this one in the win column. Up by 26 at halftime. It's the Crimson Tide with the ball. Playing now on the right goal. UNF will be on the left. It's Barber at the top of the key for Alabama. Surveying the defense, passing on the left wing. Here comes the three from Aaliyah. That's good. Alabama 44, UNF 15, a 29-point Alabama lead. UNF dealing with Alabama's full court pressure that has been so good this season. Rugier feeling the pressure from Nye. Passes just over the timeline to Rabsdottir. Rabsdottir feels the pressure as well. Left front court, her pass tipped by Nye, loose on the floor. Jalen Swan had it for a moment, then stolen away by Brittany Davis. Could be her sixth steal. Davis drives in, right side layup. Yes, a steal, a score. Brittany Davis. Where have we heard that before? Basketball back to the Ospreys, trailing 46-15. UNF trying to slow down the tempo with Lyric Swan, and then Rugier in between the rings, out to Rabsdottir on the left wing, top of the key to Jalen Swan to Lyric Swan, top of the key, pushes off Barker, and a foul call. A jumper went up no good on a three-point attempt, and an offensive foul called against Lyric Swan. Really not many fouls called so far in this game. UNF was guilty of just 5 fouls in the first half. Alabama called for just 1. Kind of like that pace of play. Basketball back to the Crimson Tide. We'll see if it continues. Sometimes that has a habit of adjusting on its own. Barber to Rice on the bounce, top of the key to Davis on the right wing. Davis top of the key to Barber to Barker. Barker at the top of the key for Alabama. Works inside the arc, driving the left side lane, throws it up. Skitters off the rim, no good, and the rebound is picked up in transition by UNF. Rugier over the timeline right to the top of the key, Lyric Swan. Swan driving in, spins around, and a foul called, and that'll go against Sarah Ashley Barker. It's already 2 quick fouls called on either side in the first minute and a half. UNF will go to its bench and bring out Sarah Taub, replacing Lyric Swan. Taub, the 5'9" freshman from Marietta, Georgia. 8:32 left to go in this third quarter. Alabama up 46-15, a 5-0 start to this third quarter for Alabama, first minute and a half. UNF ball with Taub. Taub to Barorman, the post player, tiptoes into the Crimson paint, spins around against Rice, nowhere to go. Blocked again by Jada Rice, her 4th of the game. Basketball to Alabama. Barber at the top of the key. Barber finds open space, top of the key. Davis thought about a 3, instead to Barker, but first a foul is called against the Crimson Tide. It appears possibly against UNF, and yes, against Barorman. That'll be her 3rd foul. Pushing it off against Jada Rice, but another block by Jada Rice, 4 in the game, so she is up to 38. Now the leader in the nation is over 50, but still impressive work by Jada to be the top blocker in the SEC with what she's been able to do recently for the Crimson Tide. Basketball on the floor for Alabama, right baseline. Barber slaps the orange basketball, looking to trigger the inbounds pass, and she will in the right wing to Nye. Nye spinning around, handing off to Barber. Barber steps inside the arc, steps back, now has a pass that's kicked by Wesseluk, and the ball will stay with Alabama. 20 on the shot clock, 8:05 on the game clock in the third quarter. Alabama with the ball up 46-15, a 31-point lead. Barber trying to inbound the ball, Will to Nye on the right wing. Nye steps inside the arc, passes top of the key to Barker. Barker into the paint to Jada Rice, puts it up, give it to her. Off the window, Jada Rice makes the Alabama 48 and UNF 15. 7-0 run for Alabama to start the third quarter. Rugier, right side runner, goes up, no good. Rice the rebound in the Crimson paint. Basketball to Alabama. Rice over the timeline to Davis on the right side. Davis, top scorer in the game with 15 points, steps inside the arc, right side lane, spins around, swings at top of the key to Barber, then to Barker, left wing. Barker inside the arc, attacking from the left side, scoring from the left side, Sarah Ashley Barker. Alabama to 50. It's the Crimson Tide 50, the Ospreys 15, and a turnover on UNF. Basketball 2, Alabama. The pressure does not stop for Christy Curry's Crimson Tide team. Basketball back with Alabama. 7:24 remaining in this third quarter. It is a 9-0 run to get it going for the Crimson Tide at 50-15. 7:24 left in the third quarter. Barber, left baseline to trigger the inbounds pass. Looking, waiting, going to Barker in the left front court. Barker at the top of the key. Barker to a wide open Barber, left corner three. Got it! Hannah from Homewood makes it Alabama 53, UNF 15. Timeout North Florida. Alabama starting this third quarter on a dominant 12-0 run, and it's Alabama 53, North Florida 15. Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crisp, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
Game day is full of ifs. Like if Alabama can take home another Iron Bowl victory. Who knows? But if you want the most convenient way to pay in T-Town, get the University of Alabama Regents Visa debit card. Tap to pay contactless card technology and lock-it card controls give you what you need on game day or any day. To order your card, visit regents.com/GoBama. Regents, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
7:14 left to go in the third quarter. Alabama starting this quarter on a 12-0 run. It's Alabama 53, UNF 15. Special thank you to Alabama One Credit Union, a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Women's Athletics. Christy Curry wanted to see her team locked in and focused out of halftime. She has seen it. Alabama on a 12-0 run. Hannah Barber knocking down a three-pointer, really highlighting what has been a 12-0 start. And with that, Derek Gibbs calling timeout for UNF as Alabama's defense really leading the way once again. Alabama's held 8 opponents this season to 60 points or less. Started with the opener against Alabama A&M, and recently these teams cannot do much scoring against Crimson Tide. You have to go all the way back to when Alabama played Wake Forest. You saw, well, Gardner-Webb was the last team that reached 60 points. Mercer had 52, Chattanooga had 52, and then after that, Southern Miss, Little Rock, Norfolk State, Southeastern Louisiana, and now today North Florida. No one has gotten over 50 points, so this is quite a run for Alabama's defense. Now, we talked about the defense. That's been really strong. The offense is strong as well. Alabama 9 of 21 from three-point land. Overall, shooting 49% from the floor in this game. Alabama's going to go into SEC play with a lot of confidence. Basketball with UNF facing full court pressure despite the large lead for Alabama of 38 points. And bounce pass comes in to Wesselek, double teamed by Rice and Barker. A pass is tipped by Davis and nearly stolen away. Now it's top of the key. Wesselek in between the rings to Rugier. Rugier working with the basketball over Scripte and Crimson at mid-floor. Angles to the left wing. Rugier at the top of the key, feeling the pressure from Davis. Steps back for a moment. 10 on the shot clock. Wesselek, a head fake to the top key. Rugier. Rugier with 5 on the shot clock. Guarded closely by Davis. Steps inside the arc. 3 on the shot clock. Left side lane. Tries to go up with it. Traveled in. Was getting close to a shot clock violation anyway. Basketball 2, Alabama. Tide trying to build on a 38-point lead. It's been a 12-0 start for the Crimson Tide in this third quarter. Barber over the timeline, left. Now to the top of the key. Davis loads up a three right wing. Short, and the rebound, Barber at the top of the key. Barber to the left wing. Barber to the top of the key. Nye, long range three. In and out, no good. And the rebound in the paint secured with two hands by Lyric Swan. Basketball to UNF, quickly down the floor. Rabsdottir contested right side three and too strong, and the ball out of play. Trying to be saved back in play by Tom right in front of the pep band here at Coleman. Jalen Swan coming in for UNF, replacing Helena Rabsdottir. Alabama 53, UNF 15, 6:18 to go. Barber over the middle of the timeline for Alabama. Picked up on defense by Lyric Swan. Barber. So Alabama's getting ready for a full line change. 5 new players coming in just a moment. Starters currently on the floor for Alabama now. Off to a good start, outscoring UNF 12-0 this third quarter. Barber into the crimson paint, dips outside to the right, passes on the left wing. Davis thought about a three instead of the left corner. Barker, left side lane, Rice. Rice floats it up. Rice leaves it a little short. Barker got the rebound. It would have been a shot clock violation. The shot not hitting the rim. So the 5 new players coming in for Alabama: Abrams, McQueen, Weathers, Mingo Young, and Cobbins. That's the platoon coming in next for the Crimson Tide. Solid work done by the starters. Among the reserves, Carly Weathers with the most points, 8. She picked all of that up in the first quarter. A couple of three-pointers as well as a couple of free throws for the freshman from Loretto, Tennessee. Basketball with UNF. Jalen Swan, left wing, to in between the rings to Lyric Swan, her twin sister. She's on the right wing. Bounce pass to Wesseluk, top of the key. Head fake by her. Driving in right side lane. Kicks it back out to Tobb. Tobb driving in. Right side lane. Jumper is short. Rebound right block. Carly Weathers. Basketball to Alabama. Cobbins over the timeline right. Cobbins hands off to Abrams. Abrams to the top of the key. Weathers. Here comes a three. Swish. Carly Weathers with another three-pointer. Alabama 56. North Florida 15. Basketball back with the Ospreys. 15-0 the Alabama run to start this third quarter. That is now at its midway point. 5 minutes left to go in this third period. Lyric Swan drifts back to Script A at mid-floor in crimson. Shot clock down to 10 as she hoists up a three from the top of the key, off the iron, no good. Mingo Young with the rebound right up against Ryan Cobbins. Basketball is going back to Alabama either way. Mingo Young into the paint, dribbles back to the top of the key, backs up a few steps more. Mingo Young switches her dribble, now to the free throw line, kicks it out to McQueen on the left corner. McQueen with the right hand dribbles to the left wing, then to Mingo Young, left corner. Here comes the three. A line drive is no good off the iron, and the rebound by Tobb. Tobb to Lyric Swan, letting the traffic clear to Tobb over the timeline left. Tobb driving left side, kicks it back out on the left corner to Jalen Swan, nearly lost it on a steal. Now to Lyric Swan on top of the key, back to Jalen. Head fake by her to Lyric in between the rings. 10 on the shot clock. Pass top of the key to Wesseluk. Jalen Swan on the left wing. 5 in the shot clock. Rugier top of the key with a three. That's off the mark, and the rebound on the crimson paint by Abrams. Basketball to Alabama. Trying to continue a 15-0 start to this third quarter. Abrams, left elbow extended. Dancing in the basketball to McQueen at the top of the key. McQueen around the screen by Cobbins into the paint. Kicks it out Weathers. Right corner three. Off the iron, no good. Wesseluk the rebound with the right hand. Basketball to Lyric Swan. She spins around as the pressure subsides for Alabama. Over the timeline slowly, Lyric Swan with the basketball. 3.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Next dead ball will be immediate timeout. Top of the key, Jalen Swan to Lyric Swan on the right wing. Swan to the top of the key to Tobb. Tobb driving in on the right side, or left side, kicks it back out to Rugier inside the arc. Her left side mid-range jumper won't go. Rebound right side lane by Carly Weathers. Crimson Tide ball. No points last 2 minutes for Alabama. A hand check foul will be called against Sarah Tobb. That will take us to our next timeout on the floor. That's her first and North Florida's third in quarter number 3. 3:06 left to go in the third quarter. It is Alabama 56 and North Florida 15. Back with more in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
.306 left to go in the third quarter. It's Alabama 56 and North Florida 15. Fans, you can keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download the Crimson Tide mobile app now for free at the App Store as well. It's on Google Play as we have a little bit of break in the action coming up in terms of Crimson Tide basketball. The women's team will return to action on Thursday against Georgia. The men's team will be in action the Wednesday before that on the 28th at Mississippi State to start SEC play, but SEC play for Alabama starts at 6 p.m. We will have radio coverage. We will have a courtside cam once again for that game, and then New Year's Day, we will start the new year in Knoxville, Tennessee, when it will be Alabama taking on Tennessee Lady Volunteers. That game will tip off at 11 a.m. Central. And the Crimson Tide, it'll be an interesting schedule in January. Home that next Thursday on the 5th against Missouri. Then the next 2 weeks, really only 2 games. At Auburn on Sunday the 8th, at Ole Miss on January the 15th. Then home back-to-back games against Texas A&M and LSU, at Arkansas, and then home against South Carolina on January 29th, the Sunday home game against what all season long has been the #1 ranked team in the country, South Carolina. Basketball with Alabama. Out of timeout. A 15-0 start to this quarter for Alabama. Top of the key, Weathers with the basketball. McQueen on the right wing. McQueen to the top of the key, Mingo Young. Then a pass went behind Weathers, but picked up in the left front court by Abrams, saving the possession. 7 on the shot clock. Abrams loads up a 3 and connects. Megan Abrams with her first 3-pointer. Alabama 59, North Florida 15. 18-0 run, Alabama. Pass stolen. Carly Weathers with 2 hands driving. Right side layup up. It's good. Count it. She's fouled. The freshman sensation, Carly Weathers, now in double-digit scoring for Alabama with 11 points. They're making it down 13, and she's got a chance for 14 coming at the free throw line. So Weathers making it 61-15 Crimson Tide. 20-0 the run in this third quarter, and now Carly to the line for one more. Weathers, 71% free throw shooter. Puts it up. Back iron, no good. And the rebound on the free throw line by Rabsdottir. Mingo Young really got the steal against Rabsdottir. The ball went to Eklund. Still loose on the floor. Picked up by Lyric Swan. Pass over the timeline is taken back by Jalen Swan. Now in between the rings to Lyric Swan. Swan, bounce pass to Eklund, top of the key. Then to Rabsdottir. Rabsdottir with 10 on the shot clock at the top of the key, looking for an option to pass the ball to. Tried to hand it off to Jalen Swan, and then an offensive foul called against Rabsdottir. So that'll give the ball back to the Crimson Tide. 15 foul on UNF. Alabama will be in the bonus the rest of this 2-11 in this third quarter. Crimson Tide outscoring the Ospreys 61-15, a 46-point lead for Alabama. Well, McQueen with the ball over the timeline. McQueen at the top of the key. McQueen has her pass stolen away by Lyric Swan. Intended target was Mingo Young. She drives left side. Layup is good. First basket of the third quarter comes on a steal and a score for Lyric Swan. And it's Alabama outscoring the Ospreys 20-2 in this third quarter. 61-17. Abrams driving, left side layup, banked in. Megan Abrams heating up her scoring. She's got 7 points. Alabama 63, UNF 17. Pass over the timeline. Eklund finding Lyric Swan. Swan inside the arc for a step. Now dribbling to the top of the key. Heaves it to Jalen Swan, left corner three, well off the mark, and McQueen right baseline with the basketball back for Alabama. Over the timeline, Loyal McQueen. McQueen, after backing up a few steps, passes tipped to the right wing to Mingo Young. Mingo Young dribbled to the top of the key, loose on the floor again. The ball finds McQueen, then Mingo Young top of the key. Back to McQueen, left wing. Thought about a three. How about Abrams top of the key? Abrams, a bounce pass to Weathers, free throw line out to Mingo Young, right wing, 10 on the shot clock. Mingo Young, top of the key to Weathers, back to Mingo Young, right wing. Here comes the three, off the back iron, no good, and the rebound by Jalen Swan, then gets hit in the face, and time is called. Several players got tangled up there for both the Ospreys and the Crimson Tide. Substitutions coming in, Emma Barorman for UNF along with Maddie Millar. Basketball will be with North Florida. .52 seconds left to go. And still need a little bit more time for Jalen Swan. Maybe looking at a contact right in front of the bench as well for North Florida. The clock is stopped with 51.3 seconds remaining in this third quarter, and Alabama up 63-17. Crimson Tide outscoring the Ospreys 22-2 in the third quarter. Everything's good to go now as Taub will inbound the basketball to Lyric Swan. Picked up on defense by Carly Weathers in mid-floor. Bounce pass finds Taub. Back to the top of the key to Jalen Swan. That pass is tipped by Mingo Young. Takes the ball with her out of play to the UNF sideline. Hustle all the time by Jemiah Mingo Young. 43 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Alabama up 63-17. Taub will inbound the ball from the right sideline. Quickly into Lyric Swan, top of the key. Clock not running at 43. Top of the key, Lyric Swan. Shot clock is off as well. Now it starts to move. Ball ripped away by Mingo Young. Mingo with the steal, getting Alabama moving. At the top of the key, a spin around. Mingo Young finds Abrams driving on the left baseline. Under the basket, flips it out to all the way around the perimeter. Finally back to Mingo Young, left side. Weathers top of the key. Thought about a three instead. McQueen. Abrams right corner three. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound, Mingo Young. Fighting with the basketball for Alabama. The ball will go to Crimson Tide as Alabama also tried to call for a quick timeout. I believe the Crimson Tide did. A 30-second timeout. Christy Curry recognizing Alabama needed to save that possession. Clock stopped with 19 seconds left to go in the third quarter. A third quarter that's been dominated by Alabama 22-2. Crimson Tide individually now led by Brittany Davis still with 15 points, but Carly Weathers getting some extended playing time. She is also moving up. And then one other note about Brittany Davis, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals. So at some point, we may see her flirt with the triple-double thanks to steals to go along with her points and rebounds. She's always been a good rebounder, and as a matter of fact, Davis is still the leading rebounder on this team, averaging 6.8 rebounds per contest coming into today. 19 seconds left to go on the game clock. Shot clock turned off remainder of the third quarter. Inbounds pass to Weathers. Weathers into the Crimson paint. Tried to pass it to Cunningham, but that'll go out of play. A last touch by UNF, and the basketball with Crimson Tide. 14 seconds left, again, no shot clock. McQueen looking to inbound the basketball. Finally will to Abrams on the left side. She watches the clock. Down to 10 seconds, guarded by Taub left front court. Cunningham sets a screen. Abrams driving in, trying to go for a shot. Ball was loose, kicks it back out to McQueen. Actually stepped on the baseline work. Ball tipped out of play by UNF. Will stay with Alabama, 4.6 seconds remaining. Crimson Tide 63, UNF 17. McQueen to inbound the ball from the left baseline. Looking, waiting. Bounce pass Weathers, right block, right side layup, good. Carly Weathers with 15 points. Alabama in front 65-17. A dominant third quarter is over as Alabama outscores the Ospreys 24-2. We'll get set for the final 10 minutes in Tuscaloosa. Our score, Alabama 65, UNF 17. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Fans, as our state moves to the next chapter, the Alabama Department of Public Health is shifting strategies from emergency response to one that minimizes daily disruption to our lives. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are widely available to anyone 6 months of age and older should you decide that you need one. Together, we can help to protect each other moving forward. For more information on COVID vaccines and virus prevention, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19.
In SEC sports, the ifs come at you every minute. What if your QB had released the ball a second earlier? What if the head coach hadn't used his last time out? What if your team goes all the way this season? If you love the tradition, if you live for the rivalry, if you can't wait each week for the absolute edge of your seat action, Regions is right there with you as the official bank of the SEC.
Regions can't help you with the ifs in sports. Regions helps you embrace the if in life.
Member FDIC.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crisp, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
Getting ready to start the fourth quarter in Tuscaloosa. It is Alabama with a 65-17 lead against UNF. Hope you can join us throughout the rest of the school year for Hey Coach, Baumhower's Victory Grill, Monday night, 6 p.m. on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We'll be joined by head coach Nate Oates, as well as other Alabama head coaches and student athletes throughout the rest of the school year. Hey Coach presented by Alpha Insurance. One note on Hey Coach, that show will return coming up on January 9th in 2023. So we'll have 2 weeks without a show coming up for the Christmas holiday. Again, coming up next Thursday, we will have women's basketball, but also down in New Orleans, we'll talk football from 6 to 7:30 with head coach Nick Saban. Get you ready for the Sugar Bowl, the preview show coming from the Mardi Gras Ballroom at the Marriott in New Orleans. Certainly hope anybody that is in New Orleans is welcome to attend and have a good time with Coach Saban, Chris Stewart, and John Parker Wilson. Up 9 straight wins going into conference play. Defensive effort has really been there today. Osprey 7 of 31 shooting. They turned it over 27 times. Alabama scored 27 points off those turnovers. The Crimson Tide have enjoyed solid shooting again, along with the stifling D. That continues right out of the break as Will McQueen helps cause a turnover for UNF on the right sideline. Basketball back to Alabama. 65-17 as we are underway in this fourth quarter. First possession in the fourth quarter for the Crimson Tide. Weathers on the left wing, dribbling to the top of the key to McQueen on the right wing. McQueen looks for some help, finds it Weathers top of the key. Thought about a three, instead holds on for a moment. Back to McQueen on the right wing, top of the key to Abrams. Bounce pass to the SEC logo to Mingo Young. Her jumper is good. And Jemima Mingo Young, her first field goal of the day, and that makes it Alabama 67, UNF 17. 50-point Alabama lead. Top of the key, Lyric Swan. Spins around to the Georgia border. Now at the top of the key, feels the pressure to Jalen Swan. Swan, right side lane, throws it up. Off the back iron, no good. And Weathers gets the rebound. Basketball back to Alabama. All reserves on the floor. The starters about to come back in for Alabama. Mingo Young on the left wing, passes to Weathers, top of the key, loads up a three-pointer, and connects on a three-pointer. Carly Weathers continues her strong scoring for Alabama. She's got 18 points, and the Crimson Tide leads 70-17. Basketball with UNF. Driving in, kicking it back out. UNF now to the top of the key. A head fake by Lyric Swan. Right wing three is up, off the iron, no good. And the rebound back to North Florida. Here's a quick three-pointer. That's good from the left side by Maddie Millar. And the basketball going back to Crimson Tide. By the way, a career high for Carly Weathers on that last three-pointer, now up to 18 points. 8:20 left to go in this fourth quarter of play. Alabama up 70-20. Bounce pass to Weathers. Top of the key to Mingo Young. Back to Abrams, left wing three. Off the iron, no good. Rebound tapped by Cunningham. Finally out of play. Last touch by North Florida's Ruggier, and the basketball to UNF. And now the starters come back in for Alabama. Nye, Barker, Barber, Davis, and Rice. 8:06 left to go, but tip of the cap to Carly Weathers with a career-high 18 points. She is the leading scorer, but that's just for the moment. Davis back in, already has 15. Here's Barker with a three. That's off the mark, and from the right corner, rebound saved by Brittany Davis. Top of the key to Nye, then to Barber at the top of the key. Just under 8 minutes to go in this game. Barker, top of the key. To Rice, spins around on the left block, top of the key to Barber. Now Nye, 10 on the shot clock. Long-range three off the iron, no good. Offensive rebound by Barker to Barber. Nye, top of the key. How about another three? That's good. Aaliyah Nye, 73. North Florida, 20. Aaliyah Nye with 12 points for Alabama after scoring 21 on the strength of 7 made threes. So school record may be in danger again. Alabama with 13 made three-pointers today. Set a new school record with 17 three-point makes on Sunday against the Spartans in Norfolk State. Top of the key, Ruggier driving left side of the lane. Back to the top of the key. Jalen Swan a three. Off the iron, no good. Rebound, Aaliyah Nye. Basketball to Alabama. Crimson Tide out rebounding UNF 34-25. Barber stepping inside the arc. To Nye, top of the key, three. Off the iron, no good. Rebound by Berorman. Davis fighting for it. Davis gets it back. Christy Curry trying to call for a timeout. A jump ball instead is called. Possession error favors Alabama. Two subs coming in for Alabama, Ryan Cobbs as well as Kyla Wade-Warren getting her first playing time today. Rice and Barker head out. 73-20, Crimson Tide with 6:56 left to go in the fourth quarter. Barber ready to inbound the basketball for the Crimson Tide. Does to Davis, left baseline, mid-range jumper is good. Brittany Davis up to 17 points. 6:50 remaining in this dominant game. Alabama 75-20. Quickly down the floor, Millar left corner three, off the mark. Rebound right block, Ryan Cobbins. Basketball to Alabama. Cobbins over the timeline right, hands off to Davis. Davis at the top of the key to Barber, left wing three. Short, and the rebound is saved in play by Wesselek for UNF, right to Jalen Swan. Out to Lyric Swan over the timeline right. Lyric Swan to the right wing, top of the key. Jalen Swan, a head fake by her. Tried to pass to Wesselek. That's tipped out of play. Last touch by Alabama. Crimson Tide will sub back in. Carly Weathers along with Loyal McQueen taking the spot of Aaliyah Nye and Hannah Barber. .6:18 to go. Alabama 75, UNF 20. Most dominant defensive effort of the season coming today right before the Christmas holiday by Alabama. Certainly seen some good ones lately. 30 points by Norfolk State. The other low as this one's put up, and that's well short, and the rebound by Ryan Cobbins. Basketball to Alabama. McQueen has her pass tipped and stolen away by Ruggier at the free throw line. Then she loses her footing and is fouled. Foul is called against Loyal McQueen of Alabama. Her first. Team's first. Alabama's only been called for 4 fouls all game. Nobody with 2 fouls. Basketball to UNF. Lyric Swan over the timeline on the left wing to Millar. Millar has her pass from Swan to Ruggier. Go to the right front court. Picked up on defense by Davis to Wesselek, top of the key. Wesselek feels the pressure, steps inside the arc, back to Lyric Swan on the right wing. Guarded by McQueen, 10 on the shot clock. Pass sails over the head of Ruggier and goes to the front row of Crimson Tide fans. So that means the ball to their favorite team, the Alabama Crimson Tide. It'll be Alabama ball with 5:37 still to go in this game, as Sarah Taub will come in to replace North Florida's Lyric Swan, who has scored 10 points today, leading scorer. Basketball with Alabama, 5.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Trying to get a 9-game winning streak. McQueen, Weathers on the left wing, back to McQueen, top of the key, back to Weathers, head fake, starts to drive in to the left baseline, back to the left wing, Cobbins, here comes the three. Off the iron, no good, and the rebound by Taub, and then the foul called in transition will send everybody the other way. That'll go against Kyla Wade-Warren, the Texas Tech transfer, with her first, and the team's second. Inbounds pass into Ruggier. Ruggier, pressure from McQueen over the timeline right. Ruggier to Swan, Jalen Swan, a quick handoff to Sarah Taub. Under 5 minutes to go. Quick pass to Ruggier, left wing. The lefty with the three is good. Nothing but net to make it 70-23. Basketball to Alabama, 4:50 remaining in this contest. Crimson Tide up 75-23. McQueen to the top of the key to Cobbins. Cobbins to McQueen, top of the key. Back to Cobbins, a couple steps left side, back to McQueen. Right wing, top of the key, Mingo Young. Mingo Young to McQueen on the right wing. Thought about a three instead to Weathers, top of the key. Tees it up from long range and connects. Carly Weathers, 21 points. First time in the 20s for number 22 in scoring as the freshman continues a career high. 4:20 remaining in this game. Alabama 78, UNF 23. Jalen Swan has her pass tipped. Taub still has it. Right elbow to Weselek under the basket. Lost her footing, lost the ball. Basketball to Carly Weathers and the Tide. Crimson Tide running and gunning with McQueen. McQueen, Crimson paint floater is good. Alabama to 80. Crimson Tide 80. And the North Florida Ospreys 23 with 4 minutes to go. Alabama outscoring UNF 15-6 in this fourth quarter. Timeout taken by Coach Gibbs of UNF, and we will step aside as well. 3:51 still to go in Tuscaloosa, but the Crimson Tide 3 minutes and 51 seconds closer to going into SEC play on a 9-game winning streak. Step aside for one final time and come back here to Tuscaloosa in game action with the Tide up 80-23. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
My name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Alabama One is a proud supporter of the University of Alabama Athletics. At Alabama One, we understand you have big life goals. Whether you're paying off student debt, buying a home, or retiring, your big life goals require healthy finances. As a full-service credit union, Alabama One offers our members the resources you need to reach your goals, including better rates than most banks and a full suite of products, including credit cards and loans for mortgages, cars, businesses, and land. Visit us in person or online, alabama1.org. Alabama One is an equal housing lender. Tide fans, flu season is just around the corner, and the Alabama Department of Public Health wants to remind Tide fans that this year it's more important than ever to get your flu shot. Research shows that it's possible to have the flu and COVID-19 at the same time. This flu season, protect yourself and the people around you from flu and help reduce the strain on your local healthcare system who is still responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/flu.
3:51 still to go, but this one nearly in the win column already. Alabama up 80-23 over UNF. After this game is over, catch the Regions post-game show with head coach Christy Curry, plus the final stats and more. Plus, get your Alabama Visa check card from Regions. Visit regions.com/GoBama to order yours today. Well, the Crimson Tide have seen Carly Weathers score a career-high 21 points. Brittany Davis with 17 points and 7 rebounds. Also 12 points from Aaliyah Knight. 7 points as well by Megan Abrams. Just really balanced all throughout for the Crimson Tide. In this final non-conference game of the year. Nothing but SEC basketball after this. As Christy Curry likes to say, the second season will start next Thursday against the Georgia Lady Bulldogs, a team that is off to an 11-3 start. Alabama trying to get its 11th win today, as well as 9th straight victory. Inbounds pass from Taub into Ruggier, and we're underway for the final sequence of this game. Ruggier to Millar. Millar inside the arc to Eklund, kicks it back out to Taub, left corner, and an offensive foul called against UNF. Eklund knocked down her defender, Carly Weathers. More blue-collar points for Carly. She takes the charge. Actually, it'll be against Carly Weathers. Crimson Tide guilty now of 3 team fouls. So Eklund, bounce pass to Taub at the top of the key. Bounce pass to Ruggier, top of the key. Left alone. Her 3 is up, off the iron to the right. And the rebound tip to Carly Weathers. Basketball to Alabama. Weathers to McQueen, top of the key. Back to Weathers, right wing. Back to the top of the key to McQueen. McQueen zips it to Weathers on the right wing. Lasered top of the key to McQueen. Swung out in the left wing to Abrams. Abrams, quick pass to Mingo Young, then to McQueen with 10 on the shot clock. McQueen to the free throw line. Abrams back out to an open Mingo Young. A head fake by her inside the arc. Baseline jumper is short. Rebound by UNF. Rebound by Jalen Swan. Facing pressure, able to pass the basketball to Rougier. Rougier out to Tom, zips it all the way to Millar in the right corner. Now top of the key, right wing to Jalen Swan. Eklund on the right wing. A pass right to the basket. Millar, right side layup, no good, but some good ball movement by UNF. Getting deeper into its offensive set than what we've been able to see most of the game. Abrams is driving in from the left side, gets tangled up with her defender, and Rougier will be called for the foul. The sophomore from Savannah, Georgia. Lyric Swan back in, as well as for UNF, as well as Alabama's Ryan Cobbins takes over for Carly Weathers. Her teammates giving her standing ovation as the freshman from Loretto, Tennessee, still wearing that brace on her left wrist, helping her left thumb that had an injury after opening day in college basketball after she had a great debut for Alabama, but she's come back from the thumb injury really well. Abrams driving in, spins around to bounce pass to Mingo Young. Mingo Young to Abrams, top of the key. Here comes the three-pointer. Yes, Megan joins the double-figure party as she's got 10 points. Alabama up 83-23 over UNF. It is a 60-point Crimson Tide advantage. UNF working with the ball, and Swan to Swan on the pass, but a reach-in foul called against Alabama. That'll be against Mingo Young. First on her and the team's fourth. Beg your pardon, second foul on Mingo. Inbounds pass to Lyric Swan. 2:17 to go. Alabama up by 60 against UNF. Quick pass to the top of the key to Jalen Swan. Swan to Lyric Swan at the top of the key. Starts to step inside the arc. Inside the arc on the left side, her jumper no good. Rebound Mingo Young. Alabama now rebounding 40-28 in this game. Mingo Young into the paint. SEC logo jumper rattles home. 85-23 Crimson Tide. Basketball back with UNF. Nearly a steal for Mingo Young. Free throw line jumper Jalen Swan in and out. Rebound left side by Mingo Young. She is all over the floor right now for Alabama. Crimson Tide moving with the ball. Mingo swings it out in the left corner to McQueen. Minute and a half to play. Alabama up 62. Pass top of the key to Mingo Young. Right wing Cobbins. Cobbins dribble to the left. Now pass back to the right to Abrams. 10 on the shot clock. Top of the key McQueen. A bounce pass SEC logo Mingo Young. That's her spot. Puts it in again for the Crimson Tide. Alabama 87. North Florida 23. Mingo Young now up to 8 points. Most of it in the second half. Approaching the final minute of this game. North Florida with only 23 points. That's after Alabama held Norfolk State to 30 on Sunday. There's a block from Kyla Wade Warren. 1 minute, 1 second left to go. Solid contribution by Wade Warren. Inbounds pass coming up for UNF. Lyric Swan, a bounce pass to Eklund on the right side, to Taub on the right wing. Final minute of play. Top of the key, Lyric Swan. Cobbins swatting at the basketball. Mingo Young doing the same. Swan gets away from her, puts up a jumper left side that's good. Just inside the arc, 25 points now for the Ospreys. 87-25, 48 seconds left to go. McQueen takes the ball over the timeline. Over the middle, veers a few steps to the left side. Bounce past Cobbins right wing. Cobbins to McQueen. Top of the key, Abrams. To McQueen on the left wing. Shot clock at 10. 30 seconds to go in the game. Cobbins, free throw line to Wade Warren. Wade Warren's got it. Right block layup up. Using the square. Banks it in. Alabama 89. North Florida 25. Shot clock turned off. Final 20 seconds of this game. North Florida's pass stolen at the top of the key by Jemiah Mingo Young. Holding on to the ball. She will hold on to it until she dumps it off to Wade Warren. She gives it right back to Mingo Young. And standing on the state outline, Mingo Young with the basketball. Alabama will not put up another shot tonight. Plenty earlier in this game. Seconds tick down. The buzzer sounds and Alabama will go into conference play with 9 straight victories. Today's final score, Alabama 89, North Florida 25. Non-conference play comes to a close with Alabama's 11th win of the season. Alabama now 11-2 after today's dominant performance, 89-25 over North Florida. We'll step aside to begin the region's post-game show in just a moment. You're listening to the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Crimson Tide fans, as our state moves to the next chapter, the Alabama Department of Public Health is shifting strategies from emergency response to one that minimizes daily disruption to our lives. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are widely available to anyone 6 months of age and older should you decide that you need one. Together, we can help to protect each other moving forward. For more information on COVID vaccines and virus prevention, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19.
Game day is full of ifs. Like if Alabama can take home another Iron Bowl victory. Who knows? But if you want the most convenient way to pay in T-Town, get the University of Alabama Regents Visa debit card. Tap to pay contactless card technology and lock-it card controls give you what you need on game day or any day. To order your card, visit regents.com/GoBama. Regents, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Now top of the key, Weathers, right corner, Abrams driving on the right baseline. Kicks it back out to McQueen, left alone, Brittany Davis, left corner, her three is good. Brittany Davis with 13 first half points, 2.5 minutes to go before the break. It's Alabama 41, UNF 15. Part of a great win for Alabama, 89-25, the final score against North Florida. We begin the Regions postgame show. This is Roger Hoover, pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry. And coach, I know a lot of three-pointers went in, a lot of good action around the basket, but how about the defense once again?
Yeah, I mean, just continuing to get better. You know, we extended it some today and showed a different look based off how they like to play. And I think we can just, continue to show a lot of different looks on the defensive side of the ball, whether we go zone man or full court or three-quarter court. And it's who this team, they're starting to develop their identity, and I really like it defensively.
Last game before the holidays, sometimes the energy is tough to find, but Alabama had it from the jump in this ball game, outscoring UNF 12-3. And then even afterwards, again, a strong third quarter. Just what are you seeing about the starts to quarters from your team?
I really like it, and I think it's understanding when we have a group that comes in, off the bench, and if we do platoon or if we do go with, depending on which ones, I like their energy, and I like the fact that for every single second we're within the lines to play really, really hard. That's the challenge, is to play really, really hard, and I like what I see.
And you mentioned the platoon system. What is that second wave doing right now so well?
Well, there's not much of a letdown, and I think they really pick up the intensity defensively, especially on the ball. They give us a lot of presence and do a really good job of pushing in transition. So, and everyone says, can you continue to play that way? We're sure going to try to play that way. And, depending on situations and fouls and what's going on early in the game, we'll depict on how we go from there. So I love who this team's trying to be. I think we just are so excited, for 11 wins at Christmas and continue to build on that. Season 2 is about to start, so got to be ready to go.
Got to be ready to go. Carly Weathers was ready to go. Played 26 minutes, scored 21 points, did a lot of great things defensively as well.
Yeah, I mean, she just does. I mean, she's always where she's supposed to be, doing what she's supposed to be doing. You love how she rebounds every single time the shot goes up. She's always got a box out. If she doesn't come up with it, somebody else does. But, she has really brought a steadiness and just brings such great energy to our team, makes such great decisions for a freshman. And can't wait for conference play. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch her play.
Well, we're only a week away now from conference play. What's the schedule like for the team as we get a little bit of a break for the holidays, but I know a lot of us are already thinking about Georgia next Thursday night.
Yeah, we'll go into our regular 2-day scout routine on the 27th, 28th, and then play on the 29th. We need a great crowd. I tell you what, I'm going to say this. Our crowds have been so good with a busy shopping time, a lot of holiday parties, a lot of people still working for a day of the week for everyone to come out today. I'm so proud of our crowd and appreciative. A lot of teams in the building, which is fun to see, and just appreciate everybody. We really need you in here on the 29th when we play Georgia.
We look forward to it. Well, Coach Curry, thank you so much for joining us here on the Regions Postgame Show. Have a Merry Christmas with you, your
too.
family, and the team. Roll Tide.
Merry Christmas and Roll Tide.
That's Alabama head coach Christy Curry. Her comments are always presented by Cook's Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable combination in termite protection. As we are just getting going on the Regions Postgame Show, get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card now. Visit regions.com/GoBama to order yours today. Again, the final score from Tuscaloosa, Alabama 89, North Florida 25. Back with one more segment of the Regions Postgame Show in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Young to McQueen on the right wing. Thought about a three instead to Weathers, top of the key. Tees it up from long range and connects. Carly Weathers, 21 points. First time in the 20s for number 22 in scoring as the freshman continues a career high. Career high for Carly Weathers. Alabama picks up the win as she led the way with 21 points and an 89-25 win over North Florida. Those final game stats presented by Assurance Financial. Less time than halftime. You can apply for a mortgage at AssuranceMortgage.com. No one gets you closer to college basketball than SiriusXM. You can download the SiriusXM app and take the Crimson Tide with you all season long. Tune into SiriusXM now for SEC news, talk, analysis, and more. Straight from your phone, no car required. Well, next up for the Crimson Tide women's basketball team, SEC play begins a week from tonight against Georgia. Tip-off will be at 6 p.m. here at Coleman Coliseum. Our radio coverage will begin at 5:55 across the network. And before that, certainly hope you have a great Christmas holiday. We look forward to reconnecting with you coming up next week for Crimson Tide women's basketball. That wraps up the Regions postgame show. If you want the most convenient way to pay in T-Town, get the University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card. Visit regions.com/GoBama to order yours today. Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. He was kind enough to sit courtside with us today, Jim Carabin. Our game is produced back at our Learfield studios by Maurice Jones, as well as Ethan Carabin, producing this video stream that is still going even through the final segment of the Regions postgame show. But for everybody with the Alabama women's basketball program and the Crimson Tide Sports Network, this is Roger Hoover saying thank you for listening to Alabama basketball. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas with your friends and your family. And a great note to go out on. Alabama's won 9 straight games. This is going to be exciting to see what's ahead for this Crimson Tide women's basketball team once SEC play begins next Thursday against Georgia. Until then, have a good afternoon. Merry Christmas. Roll Tide.